let me ask you about the briefing room, because you spent a long time in the briefing room.
I did, yeah.
From what you've seen under the current press secretary, how have things changed? Have they changed for the better in your mind? What do you think?
As a general rule, I wish the reporters in the briefing room, and this was true when I was there too, I wish they would function more cooperatively. If somebody doesn't get a question answered, I would like the next person called on to follow up on the previous person's question. So I feel that frustration now watching the briefings, but I felt it when I was there too. We should all be in it together in a way, trying to get questions answered and not allowing press secretaries to use us to play off one another. I'm not going to answer your question, I'll go there, and that person changes the subject. Well, why not follow up on that, get an answer to the question?
And what do you think about the length of the briefing? Because
they're very short now. They used to be at least an hour, and now Sarah Sanders cuts them off after 15 minutes sometimes. I mean, I don't think it's a good thing. People have lots of questions.
Does that set a new precedent, you think? The length of the briefing, now that it's shorter?
There are a lot of precedents being set that I don't think are so great, especially when it comes to relationships between the White House and the press.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that too. What would you say is the number one precedent that's being set that you disagree with?
Well, I mean, every president has frustrations with the press, but this president constantly tries to undermine our credibility and tries to paint us all as not telling the truth, not covering things that he thinks should be covered, and it's undermining a very important part of the country. I mean, media criticism's fine, but to say fake media, fake news, they're all liars, it's just not healthy. I felt that way when Obama was president, when he would go after some outlets, and I feel that way with Trump as president, going after almost every other outlet.
Now, the Trump administration brings in more officials during these press briefings than Obama, from what I remember seeing. Do you think that's beneficial, that he brings in a lot of officials to the briefing?
I think it's great. I don't know that he's doing it more. I mean, maybe he is. I remember Obama people doing that as well. Usually when there's a story they want to tell, they have an administration official come in. I think that's great. I have no problem with that. They should, if he's doing more of it, great.
And I also want to ask you about the president skipping twice now.
Yeah.
Was that a good decision to do the campaign rally he's doing instead?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we're supposed to have an adversarial relationship in the media with people in power, and maybe it's a good thing that he's not here and he doesn't feel comfortable in a room full of journalists, and maybe it should be a precedent set forever for all reporters and people in power. I mean, the argument that this dinner showed people in power too cozy with people reporting on people in power, maybe it's good that it's being shaken up.